I'm so sorry. This is the Obsbot Tiny 3. And let me tell you, this is a AA battery. And this gives you a clear, simple example of just how small this amazing powerhouse pack camera is. So aside from the panning, the tilting, and the digital zoom of this camera, this device here is upgraded with regards to its microphones, and I'm going to go over that in a couple of seconds. But quickly, just a walk around on this camera. On the back, you'll see there is a USB-C connector. This needs to be connected to a USB-C 3.0 or higher port. And on the bottom, you have a traditional 1/4-inch 20-thread hole so that you can mount this to different light stands, different arms, different things like that. In addition, the bottom has a little rubber sole, so if you have it on a surface, it reduces the amount of slipping. And also there is a magnet inside, so if you wanted to stick this to the side of your fridge, you can do that as well. Now, full disclosure, Obsbot did provide me with this Obsbot Tiny 3 camera a few weeks ago, and I've been able to play around with it, kind of talk about some different bugs and fixes, just so that when it launches, which is today, you guys are going to get one of the best PTZ cameras on the market. The video that you're looking at right now is the brand new Obsbot Tiny 3. This little camera has a 1/2-inch sensor, and it's not just a normal sensor. This is actually a stacked sensor where it takes your normal 4 pixels and puts them into a 2x2 little section, which essentially helps it to capture better light, more crisp details, and also high dynamic range video so that it balances the dark areas and the light areas out evenly. So as you can see, I've got this blue corner over here in my background, and then also this lighter area, and I do this purposely in order for you to see how good cameras can actually be. You see, a lot of the time, because of that blue and the lighter area over here, what ends up happening is it kind of distorts or discolors the skin tones. But as you can see, the skin tone looks relatively normal in this video. And as you can see now that I'm going to bring in a piece of white paper, the auto adjustment automatically balances things out. It's actually really, really good. You can see there's no major shifts and changes as the camera automatically changes the exposure. You see, everything that I have on this Tiny 3 right now is completely out of the box, so it's automatic white balance, automatic exposure, as well as autofocus. Now, I've turned off all the lights in the studio, and the only light that's coming in is from the window beside me. It's a few feet away, and the blinds are actually even closed. It's just enough light for me to be able to read a book, and that's pretty much about it. But you can see the sensor quality of the Obsbot Tiny 3. It's doing a really great job at picking me up. It's doing a great job at lighting up the background as well, and it's really not that pixely from what I'm looking at. It's actually really, really sharp, considering that there's almost no lights on at all. Most USB webcams sound pretty tinny and lifeless, but the audio that you're listening to right now is from the Obsbot Tiny 3. This sounds professional, really, it does. And now the camera is only an arm's length away, and the pickup is phenomenal. And the reason why is this. The Tiny 3 actually has 3 different microphones. The first one is an omnidirectional microphone, which kind of helps the system to pick everything up around it. And then it's got 2 directional microphones, and those are in stereo. So it allows me to do cool things like this. So you can hear me on the one side of your video, and then you can hear me on the other side of your video. So that type of stereo audio will increase the engagement, because remember, audio is king. Audio trumps video any day. But what happens is with that stereo audio on this little webcam, it really sounds like it's immersive. It sounds like your viewers actually hear you much more like as if they're right beside you or in front of you. And how the Tiny 3 does that is it uses what's called a 3 silicon MEMS microphones. I'm just looking at my notes over here. And one, again, is an omnidirectional microphone, 2 directional microphones, and these are typically found in high-end audio gear. So a lot of high-end headphones and different microphones will use this technology, and that's included in the Tiny 3. Now, this is the spatial audio mode, which is by default how this camera is configured. However, there's also something called pure audio mode. So now I switched to pure audio mode, which means there's 0 processing at all. So you may hear a little bit more ambient room noise, maybe the ventilation. You can hear the heat is on. You might hear my dog tapping and walking around. You might hear my clothes moving around a little bit. But where the Tiny 3 really excels in this is it uses both of those stereo microphones to find you where you are in that room. So let me just pretend that it lost me, and I'm going to go ahead and point in that direction. Now, because I have voice tracking enabled, what those stereo microphones do is it says, oh, I can sense Daniel's to the right of the camera. So it starts to use the PTZ, and it starts to basically pan and tilt and find out where I am in that room. And that naturally found me without me using or touching any of the software or controls. And just like the other AI features, you can also go ahead and put the double L fingers up, and you can go ahead and zoom in
or you can also zoom back out. Now let's talk about this autofocus system. The Tiny 3 includes PDAF, or phase detection autofocus, which basically means it's hella good. See, take a look at this. Here is my hand, and boom, I'm gonna pull that away, and that's really, really fast. So whether you're gonna be moving around quickly back and forth from this camera, or whatever you're changing the object, let's say for example, I am going to show this Obsbot object over here, you can see that the focus is very, very quick and very, very sharp. Now for those creators who don't want to show any wrinkles or blemishes, they also have a beauty mode filter. You can also blur the background if you wanted to, but there's so many other pieces of software that do that. I'm not gonna go into that because I personally don't like to use those types of filters. I'm aging and that's just natural. I don't want to meet you in person and all of a sudden you're like, hey, wait, is that a really old photo of you? But if you wanted to, no judgment here. You simply just open up the Obsbot Center software, add the beauty filters, and you can slim your face, you can smooth out your skin, you can also add makeup that's not even there, whatever you'd like to do. And here's another cool benefit. Okay, this is just going crazy. The list is huge along with the Tiny 3. But if you've got an Elgato Stream Deck, doesn't matter which one you've got, the plugin for the new Tiny 3 is phenomenal. You can now have access to not only just the PTZ control functionality of the camera, but you can change the exposure, you can auto change the focus, you can do all of the different functions that you would do with the regular Obsbot Center software, but now you can control that all on your Stream Deck. Amongst all of the cool AI features of the brand new Tiny 3, you can also use voice command controls. So for example, if the camera is sleeping, you can say, "Hi Tiny," and the camera will wake up. You could also use different voice commands to enable, let's say for example, the PTZ tracking. So you could say things like, "Track me," and that will enable the PTZ functions to track you. And you can also say, "Unlock me," and that stops the tracking technologies. A few more commands you can say is "zoom in closer," or "zoom out further." And here's one, it's a privacy feature. This is phenomenal. You can also say, "Sleep, Tiny." That was kind of cool. And if you don't like those features at all, you can go ahead and disable each of those voice control commands globally on this camera through the Obsbot Center software. Now, I've also noticed that the majority of viewers of my videos, they're liking them, they're commenting, but you're not subscribing. And if you can, please do subscribe, hit the like button, and hit the bell notification as well so you're notified when I upload new content. It really does help the algorithm, and it helps us creators to know that we're creating stuff that you do enjoy and that you want to come back to. And it also helps this YouTube to spread the word to other people who are like-minded just as you. I appreciate it so much. Thank you. So if you like this Tiny 3, but you're thinking, hey, how do I use this in a really high-end professional setup? Well, you can look at the upgraded Tail 2, which is from Obsbot as well, but it's a really, really high quality PTZ-R camera, which means that it can rotate to a vertical format, and it also has 5x optical zoom. So if you'd like to see my setup with that 3-camera podcast studio over here, go ahead and click on that link and you'll be taken to that video.